Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a little bit different. And let me just prelim by saying this is not a rant. This is not me trying to proselytize you into donating to Black Lives Matter. My only agenda here is to bring some awareness and show you guys what it is like being black.
Overnight, Minneapolis on fire. Protesters leaving an auto parts store in flames. Police precinct. They'd gathered hours before, furious at the death of 46-year-old George Floyd.
When is it really gonna change? When is it really gonna stop?
LA Times came out with an article recently, and it said 1 in 1,000 men can expect to be shot by the police. And that alone is like, wow, that's insane. So I invited over a few friends to talk about it. They're also black. My friend Steven was a crypto linguist in the Air Force. That's a crazy job. He learned Mandarin Chinese so he could basically intercept messages, and it's some spy shit. My friend Irma went to law school, very well read, very astute. And my friend Mark does advertising for the tech industry. And then there was me. I was one of 12 analysts in the Space Force. For those of you who didn't know, I dealt with billion-dollar assets on the daily. Very secret stuff. I'm not allowed to talk about most of it, but that was my life for the past 5 years. So I processed all the launches globally, worked with NASA, worked with SpaceX. I did some interesting stuff. Got to be part of the first Mars mission, etc. So without further ado, enjoy. Well, this is my first time doing this. These are some of my friends who agreed to do it with me.
This is every show.
Every show, yeah. And we're just gonna have a conversation about being black in America. You guys can hear what it's actually like to live life in color. And to prelim this, we're gonna take some shots to get kind of loose.
Because being black is exhausting.
Cause that's what niggas do.
I'm being honest. If we had Hennessy, it would be a little more 52. It's okay.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All black people don't drink Hennessy.
No, we
listen.
don't. Cheers
to staying alive. Yeah.
Which is crazy, because that's not even a joke. It's like a real thing.
First question is, how do you feel you're perceived as a black person living in America?
The first thing that came to mind, which was kind of shocking for me, but I was like intimidating. And it's strange because, yeah, I feel like I'm like, my presence is intimidating at times. And I think it's amplified probably like in my workplace or other workplaces because I'm like the only black person. And at times I don't want to think about the fact that I am the only black person. But then when I see how people respond to me, like speaking in like a normal tone, but having like a request or something, or just having a differing opinion, I could tell it's like they're intimidated. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know. I find myself being more nice than I already naturally am just because I can feel the tension already.
Yeah. I randomly smile at white people to let them know that I'm not intimidating.
Randomly smile at them?
Yeah, it's like, you know, hi.
And I keep it real. I definitely don't do that. But it depends on my situation because, like, being from the East Coast, I've come straight from Brooklyn and have call it my Brooklyn face or my tiger stare, whatever you want to call it. But, like, you know, you have your game face on. So I come straight from Brooklyn, go to Burbank, where I was living at the time, and I have my scowl on my face. I'm wearing my, like, rugged clothes. I'm like, don't talk to me. And those white people were like, hey, how you doing? No, so it just depends on where you are, where I am, where I feel a certain way. Being in the military, I definitely felt kind of singled out as a minority in that setting. And I mean, that's a whole other conversation, but
no, it's the same conversation.
No. It definitely is a whole other conversation, but but it just depends on my setting. In work, when I'm the cool black guy, and I feel like, you know, my blackness is a positive in that setting. Right. You know, working at T-Mobile, it's a kind of an urban company and it's sales, so my flair was kind of acknowledged and accepted in that to a degree. Right. So, you know. So it just depends.
I think for me, and it strays a little bit, like being mixed, but like I was never black enough for black people, never, and I'm not white, so like white people are like, yeah, you're black. So I had the same stigma as everyone else's black white people, but then black people it was like, like you're a pretty
Within black
boy,
people, there's other
It's all different.
perceptive.
yeah, and then I don't really use a lot of slang, and I never said the N-word or anything, and it was just like, for me, I think that was a product of like being stereotyped, that I was like, okay, not necessarily whitewashed, but I was like, I just won't use the word, and I'll just be very punctual and shit. And that it's like BS, man. Even in the military, like I had a mentor, and you know, for you guys, I had a top secret job, worked in the Space Force, dealt with billion-dollar assets on the daily, and I was one of 12 analysts in the world who did what I did, and I was the best. And my mentor was like, hey man, you're black. And like when he said that shit, I was like, why are you saying that? I was like,
Why are you saying
that? I was like, why are you saying
Where did this come from?
Yeah,
And
he was like, what are you saying?
He was a black guy too. He's like, you have to try twice as hard. You have to be twice as early. You can't make any mistakes that your white, counterparts can make. Like you have to be the best. He's like, their best. You have to be twice as good as their best. He's like, because you're black. Did you want to say anything else?
I'm good.
You good? Okay.
Because we can go on and on with that, yeah.
All right. Question 2. How do you feel about the police?
Well,
It's loaded.
It's loaded, yeah.
I happen to have an address that pulls up a sheriff, so I'm cool. But I know the deal, and we all know the deal, and it might come a time where shit has to go down, man. I recommend every black man and woman, but especially black man, arm yourself and exercise your rights, all of them that you have, and the ones that you don't think you have, learn about how you have them and have them.
All right, while we're doing that though, I think we do gotta change the way the police culture is.
Yeah, we need laws. we need
No,
laws
because-
Because it can just be
Not
a
even
whole
law,
like
it's-
a militarized shootout. All
Yeah.
of them, because I'm gonna be straight up. I'm from Memphis and all. My dad has a gun, but I don't have a gun license. Never touched a gun. I know I should.
About time. Yeah, it's definitely about time.
But it's
who's gonna
like-
save you?
But it's interesting who's gonna say it, but it's like, why do we always have to fight, but
Because we
no,
do
not
it
I'm
with
saying
them.
I am, but it's like being black, you're constantly on like the defense. So, and I'm saying I guess we know what we have to do, but it's like y'all don't have to do something. When I say y'all, like police, like white, like be accountable, address implicit bias, like the real stuff. Like this is deep. It's
Okay, so when has a bully come to school and said, maybe I should rethink my bullying and just stop bullying this kid just because?
well, is it? Oh, so the
That's
fact
not
that
gonna
people
happen.
haven't. Well, if you think it won't, it won't. But I'm just saying, it's like okay. So of course, I'm
So if
saying.
you're getting bullied at school.
Pause. No.
You-
I'm saying it goes both ways because black people, we already know what the fuck is going on.
Right.
This has been going on. Now they are seeing what we've been seeing, but it has to be like a mutual. It won't work if just one side is working.
Now they're
Yeah.
seeing what we're seeing.
No,
Will
people
Smith always
have,
been
but
seeing
no.
what
To
we've
be
been
honest,
seeing.
they don't. Some people, it's called being blissfully ignorant. It's a real
Yeah.
thing.
There was
Like
a
some.
whole
It
civil
doesn't
rights
matter,
movement.
but that
Well,
doesn't mean shit. And,
right,
and
but
people
like-
think the civil rights movement means there's no racism. So
that's
you
crazy.
know,
That's true, and
it's,
also
it's
like
true.
today's like generation, like if you're like 25,
I was gonna say
anyone
civil
in
rights
between
movement.
0 to 25, like we didn't experience what the older people experience. Like, yeah, I've experienced racism my whole life, but I was
Have you
never
ever been
like,
called a nigger?
I have.
There you go. Then that's racism. That's
Yeah.
direct
But
racism.
she's
But-
levels.
But yeah, there's levels. Like I never had to go to a segregated bathroom, which was only like 45, 50 years
Yeah.
ago. Right, but it goes for both like
Yeah.
all races, like white people too. Like some of my friends have they're like legit have never fucking seen someone be called like the N-word or like they've like some people just haven't seen that shit, which is fair. And Will Smith put it like awesome today. He was like, he's like the racism has always been there, but now you can just see it more.
Like,
Because of, like, cell phones and
cell
shit.
phones and stuff. But like it's true, and it's like it sounds, I guess, to us like unbelievable. Like some people really, but no. Like I've been learning, especially just going to the school we went to USC, where there's a lot of affluent white people. Sorry, I just learned how like tone deaf and honestly like disengaged and just not like it's an excuse, but genuine. Like a lot of them just don't know.
They're ignorant.
They're ignorant, like a real ignorant.
My philosophy
loaded,
is the same as is to any individual I interact with, and if you show me respect, I show you the utmost respect.
But
I think he means
I mean more
the sentiment of like
when you say you're driving in traffic and a cop gets behind you, like what's your first thought?
I'm always nervous.
It's automatic danger.
Yeah.
But like I said, I still hold that down. Of course, as a black person, we all have that stomach reaction. But when the cop pulls up and he says some real shit that's cool, and I don't get a ticket, then I'm like, yo, thank you for protecting the server, do what you're doing. Even though that's not their job is not to protect the server anymore. And that's taken off of all the cars. They don't say that anymore.
Yeah,
but
it says enforced.
It says enforced. But
however, like with that same
But I think it's just
like if I were to ask, I feel like if I were to ask, and I have asked like someone who's white or just lighter pigment,
it won't be a visceral reaction.
Like when a cop's behind you, what's your first thought? And they're like, oh, was I speeding? Like
because
they're not even thinking about like, oh shit, like am I gonna get shot or like killed right now, or like
I'm just, like,
am I like imminent danger? They're just like, dang, what's my ticket gonna be? You know, like
But I have to put all those last three things you said. Those are there.
Yeah.
But I have to hold those over here in the kidneys so I can just see if it's a regular situation.
But I think
because otherwise I'll react with that. But it's there. But it's always there. Yeah.
I think.
Shit, because cops, I don't know, you look at them and you think they're supposed to protect and serve, but now apparently they're supposed to enforce. But then at the same time, shit, you know damn well they'll try to pickpocket you or like.
Not if you know your rights though. You gotta know your rights and get real loud.
But why do you have to do that as a black person?
You shouldn't have to.
But that's
the truth.
Because I even think I'm like, well, if I get pulled over or something, I don't know, I'm just gonna put on some charm, hope that like, hi officer. But the fact that I'm even thinking about these hypothetical scenarios
is things that other people don't have to think.
Yeah.
It's something
it's
that
strange.
is not normal.
And it's weird. I didn't even think that was kind of abnormal until I was asked it now. I'm just like, oh shit. No, I think a lot of stuff. I even think shit. And the little car keys have a USC lanyard. It sounds so bad, but I'm like, I went to school. Like really, you just thinking of things.
My wallet has to have anything and my uncle's fucking business card with the sheriff shit. I need everything.
Yeah, I still keep my military ID in my wallet, and it's not to like flaunt. Yeah, it's just to like. When the cop looks at my information, he's like, okay, well, this guy served.
You're better than black.
It gives me credibility. Yeah.
Right.
Do you know?
The question, can you guys share some of your stories of being discriminated against? I literally, I was with one of my best friends, Christian. He's a white guy, and so we get pulled over, and the cop comes up to my side. Where's the weed?
Where's the weed?
That was the first thing he said.
I got one for you. Go ahead.
I was like, what? I was like, excuse me? And
Shit, tell me.
We're like in the military.
Yes.
I'm like, there's no weed.
Were you in uniform?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I was like, what do you mean? He's like, where's the weed? I can smell it. And I was like, dude, we're not doing, like, we don't smoke weed. We're in the military. Like, sir. And I mean, we're being respectful. He's like, yeah, well, I've heard that before. He made me, like, stick my tongue out. He made my friend Christian stick his tongue out. Oh. And then, he was like,
oh, that sounds perverted.
After that, he was like, all right, well, you can go then. And that was it. And I was like,
it's weird.
Serious?
It's fuck.
And I was like so pissed for a minute. I was like, dude.
He just I was in law school.
So my girlfriend was in law school.
No, I'm gonna say no. When I repeat stuff like that, it's because I'm about to go in. But no, when I was there, we were taking a legal writing class, and like they always emphasize how hard it is and how legal language is a completely different language than the average person. Blah 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 blah.
It's a Black's law.
No, I'm saying, and they like. When she said that, the instructor was a white woman, blonde, very nice, but she literally said, okay guys, so when you're writing a legal paper, write it like you're writing it to someone from Africa. Someone who wouldn't understand make sure you write it that clear. I actually have, and I can't make this shit up, I actually put a status, so. Because she said it, and I'm in class,
you were stunned.
No, I was stunned, and I was like, you literally think people from Africa are like stupid. Like it was a weird epiphany I had, and then I'm like, yes, I'm black. My mom's African American. My dad's from Nigeria. But just knowing, I was just like,
she's a law professor.
She's a law professor. But then when I got home, I remember I almost cried. And so then I drafted the email the next day. But I remember I literally had to sleep on it because I was pissed. I had this, I was like, bitch, whoop. And this is where I was like, I hate that I had to pull back. I'm like, wait, hold on, Irma. You're already the dark skin girl in class. You don't want to be the angry aunt? So it's like, but bitch, you're wrong. But I put her on game, and I was professional, but I was like, what you were saying was not just wrong, but it was dangerous. And I laid it out, She responded in like 2 minutes, which was crazy. She's like, I did not mean anything wrong. And the thing that made it more sad was I know she didn't mean anything wrong. Yeah. And that's what made it more scary. Like,
it's an idea that was like ingrained in her.
Yeah, and you're just saying it, it's like an innocent thing, but that will forever like